Hi everybody, it's Richard here again and welcome to part 6 of where I show all my vinyl LPs. Now there's various sections here and this is the miscellaneous section, and just to give you a quick reminder of what the other sections are, here we go. Okay, carrying on with the miscellaneous. And in the last video I finished at DU. I should have continued with the Ds because there was only a couple of more groups left and made this just the E's, but we've got the full of the E section and miscellaneous as well as the last couple of DUs. So starting off, we have Duran and their debut album, and this is the one with Planet Earth, Girls on Film and Careless Memories. It's actually a really good album, no surprise. Duran and Rio with My Own Way, which is a different version to the single version. This version is actually the best. Rio, Save a Prayer and Hungry Like the Wolf, Lonely in Your Nightmare, very good album, their best. Also Duran, Seven and the Ragged Tiger with Union of the Stick, New Moon on Monday, The Reflex, which is a different version of the single again. I prefer the single version. And the one I really love is I Take the Dice. And then we have Duran Arena, which is really a live album, but it does have Wild Boys on it. This is, I think, a bit of a cash in because I don't think they have very much material. And then Duran Decade, which is basically a greatest hits of the first 10 years. Probably better on CD because there's more songs on it. Ian Dury and Blockheads, New Boots and Panties. Really good album. I know Nick's final buddy absolutely loves this. Things like Clever Trevor, Wake Up and Make Love With Me, very good. And there's another Bella Ricky Dicky, I think, on this as well. Yes, it is. And that's a very, very good album. Not quite as good as Do It Yourself, and I think this was made in 100 million different covers. It's alright, it's not fantastic. However, this is brilliant, and this is the best of Ian Dury hit list, hit me, and it's a double album and it is fantastic. It's really all I think I need of Ian Dury. Okay, getting on to the E's now, and we have Eagles on the Border. I picked this up because I have another Eagles album which I like. This one not quite as good, I'm afraid. Hotel California, this is the one I do like. I think it's a very good album. And New Kid in Town, Hotel California, very good. And the best of the Eagles, which is the best of the lot of them, to be quite honest with you. This is all the big hits, or all the famous songs. Earth, Wind and Fire, the collection. And this has got Let's Groove on it, which I absolutely love. Boogie Wonderland, again, great. September, I Got to Get You Into My Life, After the Love Is Gone, really good double album. The best of the Easy Beats, Friday on My Mind. It's okay, it's that sort of beat type 60s stuff. Friday on My Mind's a brilliant track. The rest of it I can take or leave, to be honest. Echo and the Bunnymen and Crocodiles, their debut album, extremely good. Got Rescue on it. I think it was their actual debut single. Not 100% sure though. Echo and the Bunnymen, Heaven Up Here, their second album, another very good album with Show of Strength on it. Heaven Up Here and A Promise. A Promise is probably the best track off it. My favourite Echo and the Bunnymen album, and it is Porcupine with a Cutter, Back of Love, Heads Will Roll, absolutely brilliant album. And then my second favourite is Ocean Rain with Seven Seas, Silver, The Killing Moon, Crystal Days, Thorn of Crowns. Really, really good album. Songs to learn and sing. I bought this because it's got Bring on the Dancing Horses on it, which I absolutely adore as well. Never bought the single at the time. I do have it now though. But there's a couple other songs on here, like Do It Clean, I don't think was on any of the albums. But it's a good comp. And then the self-titled Echo and the Bunnymen from 1987 with The Game, Lips Like Sugar, and the brilliant Over You. Duran and self-titled. And yeah, this is not a bad album. This is late 80s again, and Jeff Lynne features in this. But I think on the song The Trembler, I think it was actually written by him. Well, it's produced by him anyway. But yeah, it's a good album. Around this time, all the oldies were having a bit of a resurgence, including Duran. Right, we're getting into a lot of Dave Edmunds here. So, I love Sculpture, A's and B's, good comp. Rockpile, which is it's a decent album, Down Down Down, really good, and a brilliant version of Dance 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 by Neil Young. Of course, it's got I Hear You Knocking on it. Subtle as a Flying Mallet with the two hit singles, Baby I Love You and Born to Be With You, but there's a lot of other ones on here as well. Actually, Nick Lowe writes a song for She's by Baby, which is okay. Possibly my favourite Dave Edmunds album, and Get It, and this is more or less the first Rockpile album, although one member is not on it, and I think that must be Billy Bremner. But yeah, this has got I Need a Bride and She's Rock and Roll on it, really really good. Juju Man, excellent album. Tracks from Wax 4, another excellent album with Deborah on it, Never Been in Love and Trouble Boys. His biggie is Repeat When Necessary, with Girls Talk, Creature from the Black Lagoon, Queen of Hearts and Sweet Little Lisa. Very good album. Calling from the Wreckage as well as on it. Rockpile Seconds of Pleasure. Now this is the reissue version which I filed with Dave Edmunds. The original I filed with the Nick Lowe collection. But this is great. Teacher Teacher, Nick Lowe and vocals is great. However, the Dave Edmunds vocals are, well, the ones he sings, the songs he sings, I don't think are that great. The best is probably If Sugar Was as Sweet as You, and A Full Too Long is not bad either, but I think Nick Lowe's tracks are the best on this. I am biased. Twangin', another great album, and this is basically the last Rockpile album, and this was recorded actually before the Seconds of Pleasure, but because he was with Swan Song, we weren't allowed to release anything under the Rockpile name until he satisfied his full contract. So he had put this in, although it hadn't been released. He was then free to release stuff under Rockpile, and they only did one album, and then this came out at the end of 1980, started 1981. The best of Dave Edmunds. Now this is absolutely brilliant. Mostly Rockpile stuff, but you still do get Sabre Dance on it, and the other one, which is I Hear You Knocking. DE 7th, very good album from 1982. Warmed Over Kisses, Left Over Love is a really great little number, full of banjo, and also from Small Things Big Things Come, as a Bruce Springsteen song I hadn't released, is on that album as well. And then we get the Jeff Lynne produced Information, which I think is great. Slipping Away is the only Jeff Lynne song on this, but Information is great, and Feels So Good is great as well, or Feels So Right. Riff Raff, another one of my favourites, produced by Jeff Lynne, and this has the fantastic Busted Loose, written by Paul Brady, as well as Steel Claw, written by Paul Brady. Tina Turner covered it. Now I put this in, even though it's a soundtrack, it didn't go in the soundtrack section because there's about 5 different Dave Edmunds songs on this. So High School Nights is great, and a brilliant version of Do You Want to Dance. Live album, I Hear You Rockin', it's alright. Closer to the Flame, another really good album with King of Love, and I do like the song Stay With Me Tonight, but it's a real rip-off of the Elvis track. I'll put it up, but it's exactly the same. Dave Edmunds again, and basically this is his album from 1993, Plugged In, but it's reissued with extra tracks and just called Again. So I don't have the Plugged In on vinyl, I have it in CD, but this is a fantastic album, and one of the best tracks off it is It Doesn't Really Matter, again with a bit of accordion on that one. Okay, Emerson, Lake and Palmer, Works, got this from my brother, the one with Fanfare for the Common Man. Haven't played very much of it, if at all, Works too, the one with I Believe in Father Christmas, very good song. The album's not great, however this one I did by myself and it's the best of Emerson, Lake and Palmer, and that's really all I need, and it's actually quite good. Eminem, Curtain Call, The Hits, brilliant double album, love it. You know, I'm not a rap fan, but I do have a real soft spot for Eminem. This is Brian Eno, Here Come the Warm Jets. It's a pretty good album, it takes a bit of getting used to, but yeah, good album. And this one here, I can never remember the name of it, but I love it. It's Taking Tiger Mountains by Strategy. It's a fantastic album from, I think it's 1974. So Brian Eno again. And then Another Green World, which is okay. It's not brilliant in my eyes, but still, it's a decent enough album. And then we have the Equals, Unequaled. Very good album. Not in brilliant condition though. And it's the same with this one, Sensational Equals as well, which I think is very good. Equals were the band with Eddie Grant in them. Equals again, Greatest Hits on Music for Pleasure. Very good album. Erasure, Circus. Yeah, enjoy it. Really great singles, like Sometimes on this, Circus, Victim of Love. Erasure, The Innocents, and this is the one with A Little Respect, Ship of Fools, and Chains of Love. This is a very good album. Erasure again, and Wild, and I think this is their best album with You Surround Me, Star, Blue Savannah. Very, very, very good album. Erasure again, and Chorus, and this is not a bad album either. I think this is the one with Am I Right on it. Yeah, I can hardly see this, and the title track I think is excellent. This is from about 1991 or so. Erasure again, and The Neon, and I bought this because Johnny, who owned the record shop, said this was brilliant. I played it and I don't like it at all. David Essex and Rock On. Got Rock On it. Does it have Lamplight? Yes it does. Lamplight is the best track off this. And actually a version of Simon Garfunkel's For Emily Whenever I May Find Her, and it's pretty good. David Essex, the very best of David Essex, basically all I need of David Essex if I need it at all. You're right, Eurythmics, Section and In the Garden, really good debut album with Never Gonna Cry Again, Belinda on it. Sweet Dreams are made of this with the title track Love is a Stranger, The Walk, very, very good album. As is Touch with Here Comes the Rain Again, Right by Your Side, and Who's That Girl. 1984 with Julia and the title track Sex Crime. Be Yourself Tonight, the really pop album for them. Well, the first of two really pop albums, and this is the least one. It's alright, I do like There Must Be an Angel Playing With My Heart, Would I Lie to You, and I've never liked Sisters Are Doing It For Themselves. Now, I really do like this album. This is Revenge, and this is the one with Missionary Man, Thorn on My Side, The Miracle of Love, and When Tomorrow Comes. Very good album. Savage is also a very, very good album, and this is a little bit more experimental. Going back a little bit to the very early 80s, Beethoven I love to listen to is brilliant. Shame is good, Savage is good. You have placed a chill in my heart, but I Need a Man is dreadful. We Two Are One is not very good at all, and there's nothing on this I like. Greatest Hits, very, very good album, but unfortunately the Sweet Dreams version is a remix. I wish they'd have put on the original. Right, the Everly Brothers, and this have a whole whack of these, so this is going to go on a bit, and this is the last of the day. And this is their debut album, and this is absolutely fantastic, and nobody ever talks about this. This is one of the best albums of the 50s. It's Everly Time, another sound album, and so sad to watch Good Love Go Bad is one of the highlights of this. A Date with the Everly Brothers and Love Hurts is on this absolutely beautiful album again. Instant Party, yeah, not bad. These are all decent albums. I don't think there was anything off this that was massive. Temptation, sorry, was the #1 hit actually. Golden Hits of the Everly Brothers, my very first Everly Brothers album that I bought in the 80s. And yeah, this is some of the Warner hits like Kathy's Clown. And one track I've always loved is That's Old Fashioned. I thought it was fantastic. The Everly Brothers, and I'm not sure which one this is called. Both Sides of an Evening. Yeah, decent album again, and the big one off this is Don't Blame Me, I think. Yeah, good album. Rock and Soul, doing rock and roll covers. It's okay, it's not brilliant. Beat and Soul, sort of doing beat songs. Again, it's okay, it's not brilliant. Gone 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 is a decent album. The Ferris Wheel was the hit single off this. Gone 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 as well. Yeah, good album. Good 60s Everly Brothers album. Sing the great country hits, you know, and they're very good at doing country hits. And yeah, Old Lonesome Me on this, I Walk the Line. It's decent. I wouldn't say it's groundbreaking or anything like that there. In Our Image, and yeah, The Price of Love's on this. Leave My Girl Alone. Again, it's a decent album. Leave My Girl Alone actually is on that Dave Edmunds album, Subtle as a Flying Mallet, that I showed. Right, Two Yanks in England. Now this actually is a really, really strong album. This is more or less a Hollies album, but it's very, very good. There's nothing huge off this, but I love it. And it got into my albums of 1960, whenever it was, 67 or 66. Okay, the Everly Brothers, Stories We Could Tell. It's okay. I think I've played it once. More like a 70s album, that one. And Pass the Chicken and Listen, which is another 70s one. That's okay, slightly country-ish. And then we have the new Everly Brothers album, sorry, the Everly Brothers, the new album, previously unreleased songs from the early 60s, and this came out in the 70s, and it is decent enough. So we're close to the end here. And the reunion album, the Everly Brothers, and I think this in America was called Everly Brothers 84. And this is the one with On the Wings of a Nightingale, the Paul McCartney song. Excellent, and it's got The Story of Me, the Jeff Lynne song on it. And yeah, very good album. I think slightly better is their second one, and it is Born Yesterday, and this has got a fantastic version of Bob Dylan's Abandoned Love, and they also do Why Worry by Dire Straits, Arms of Mary. I think it's a very good album. The third one, yeah, it's not bad. This is more 80s sounding, it's Some Hearts. And there's a version of Don't Worry Baby along with the Beach Boys, and I do like it. But there's a couple of tracks I really love off this. Be My Love Again, I think is fantastic. It's a Dawn Everly song, and Julianne, I think is a really, really good song. And two more, the very best of Everly Brothers, and this is the Cadence Hits. 20 tracks, but it's good. It's got all the, you know, the biggies like Bird Dog, Bye Bye Love, Wake Up Little Susie, Maybe Tomorrow. And lastly we have Brother Jukebox by Don Everly, and he does a version of So Sad to Watch Good Love Go Bad, which I absolutely love, but I'm not as keen on this version. It's an okay album. I think I've only played it once or twice, but yeah, I'm happy enough to have it. Okay, so that's the end of the E's. The next episode will start with the F's. This is going to take a long time, so it is, but anyway, I'm enjoying doing it. And as I said in a previous video, this is the video I've always wanted to do, or series of videos. So until the next time, which shouldn't be too long, all the best now. Bye bye.